Harry and Meghan are reportedly growing increasingly concerned as the future of the Invictus Games faces uncertainty. If the event were to be cancelled, they could lose the one major platform that has remained closely connected to their public image and ongoing work.
You mentioned the Invictus Games, and there are reports now that the Invictus Games could get cancelled despite the royal's best efforts to raise support and money for the event during his visit to the UK.
The Invictus Games were established to give wounded military veterans a chance to demonstrate their strength, determination, and resilience after sacrificing so much in service to their countries. Prince Harry has often spoken about how deeply he cares about the Games and the veterans who take part. He has repeatedly described the event as one of the most meaningful parts of his life and said that the veterans hold a special place in his heart. He has made those statements many times, but some critics argue that words alone are not enough. If you listen to some veterans themselves, there are reports that many feel frustrated and disappointed. They question how Meghan Markle appearing ahead of wounded veterans while wearing an expensive designer outfit does anything to support a soldier who lost both legs in Afghanistan. They believe actions carry far more weight than public statements, and many say they have been paying close attention to everything surrounding the Games. Reports now claim that Prince Harry is facing a major challenge, with growing speculation that the future of the Invictus Games could be at risk.
Board exclusive. This is huge news about Prince Harry and Invictus. His games could get cancelled.
Now this is seismic. This is the biggest royal story of the year. This is an unmitigated disaster.
According to the reports, some sponsors began to take notice of these concerns and made the difficult decision to withdraw their support. This has led to growing speculation that the Invictus Games could eventually face cancellation if those challenges continue. If that were to happen, it would be a significant setback for Prince Harry because the Games have become closely connected to his public image over the years. Losing such an important part of his public work at a time when he is already facing considerable pressure would create yet another major challenge. Reports also claim that Prince Harry has recently experienced another disappointing setback.
Harry has just got dumped again, losing another Invictus sponsor in a shocking scandal.
Reports suggest that several sponsors are now hesitant to support this year's Invictus Games because of the controversy that followed the Vancouver event. Critics argued that Meghan Markle drew so much attention that the focus shifted away from the purpose of the Games. Author Tom Bauer even referred to the event as Meghan's Games, reflecting the view that she became the center of attention. According to those critics, much of the spotlight remained on Meghan, while the veterans who had traveled from different parts of the world received far less recognition than they deserved. They believe the event appeared to revolve more around Meghan Markle than the servicemen and women it was originally created to honor.
Suggests that the 2025 Games in Canada were overshadowed by Meghan Markle's public appearances.
According to the reports, when major sponsors such as Boeing saw the controversy surrounding the event, they decided to end their sponsorship. Boeing was not the only company said to have stepped away. Reports also claim that several other multinational sponsors, which had previously been prepared to invest millions of dollars into the Invictus Games, chose to withdraw their support as well. The ongoing controversy is widely believed to have played a significant role in those decisions, leaving the Games facing increasing financial uncertainty.
Apparently, Boeing, which has been a major sponsor of the Invictus Games in Canada, has pulled out. And they're not going to be sponsoring the next event here in the UK in Birmingham next year in 2027.
The organizers reportedly believed the entire amount of funding would be made available right away. However, when they asked why the money had not been fully released, they were informed that they would only receive the remaining funds after securing enough private sponsorship. As a result, although around £26 million has reportedly been pledged, only about £3 million is said to have been released so far. That amount is believed to cover only a small portion of what is needed, as the organizers still require significant funding for the Games to move forward as planned. This has raised an important question for many observers. If sponsors continue withdrawing their support, where will the rest of the necessary funding come from?
The UK have pledged, they've underwritten 26 million quid for next year's Birmingham Games, but they will only release that money if Invictus raise enough money for the games to go ahead. So currently, the UK government has given them approximately 3 million quid of that underwritten 26, which means Invictus have got to raise a lot of money between now and next year for the games to go ahead in its entirety. And it doesn't seem like it's doing too well.
At the moment, the situation does not appear to be improving, and this has led many people to voice their opinions. Some critics argue that sponsors did not withdraw because they no longer cared about wounded veterans or the mission of the Invictus Games. Instead, they believe the decisions were influenced by concerns over the current leadership and the controversy surrounding it. According to this viewpoint, the sponsors have no issue with the veterans or with the purpose of the Invictus Games itself, but they feel differently about Prince Harry's continued involvement. Some commentators even believe the games would undergo a major change if Harry were to step away, arguing that the event could take on a very different direction without him playing a leading role.
Harry ceases to be involved in the Invictus Games. All the sponsors will be back. Just imagine if Sir David Beckham was the head of the Invictus.
Oh, wow.
It'll be bigger than the World Cup. Right, Boeing, they will literally, and Airbus. All of those guys will be back.
Some critics argue that the Invictus Games should be placed under the leadership of someone the corporate world has greater confidence in. They believe a leader without ongoing public controversies, major financial pressures, or a spouse who is frequently accused of drawing attention away from the event would make sponsors more willing to return. From that perspective, they argue that many companies might be far more comfortable investing in the games again. These commentators also claim that Prince Harry's continued involvement is no longer protecting his legacy. Instead, they believe it is becoming the very thing that is causing increasing damage to his public reputation.
The amazing Mike Tyndall, if he was the head of Invictus, bang, they are back. There's so many people that could do it.
Yeah. And Tom Brady owns Birmingham City Football Club as well. They get him involved. He could donate a few million. He's got enough.
Brady would be a triumph.
Yeah.
Almost anybody would be better than those.
Reports also claim that the situation has become even more challenging after the Australian government, which had previously been expected to provide financial support for the games, reportedly decided not to move forward with that funding. According to those reports, officials are no longer willing to support the event in the same way they once intended. Critics argue that they are reluctant to invest in a competition if they believe the focus is shifting away from the veterans and toward Meghan Markle, despite her not having a central role in the games themselves. If these financial and sponsorship challenges continue without a solution, some observers believe the future of the Invictus Games could face serious uncertainty, including the possibility of cancellation.
Games has suffered its greatest blow yet, and that is a decision by Australia to remove all funding from their team. This is huge. This is massive.
Invictus Games were to be cancelled. Many people are asking what Prince Harry would do next. Since stepping away from his royal duties, he may still hold the title of prince by birth, but he is no longer a working member of the royal family. As a result, many observers believe the Invictus Games have become the main platform through which he maintains a significant public presence. And reports suggesting the event could be at risk have raised new questions about his future. His speaking engagements, which might have provided another important source of income, have reportedly become less frequent. Some of his other charitable efforts have also faced difficulties. The African charity he co-founded has been surrounded by its own controversy, and Harry is no longer involved in its leadership. Because of this, many commentators feel that Prince Harry and the Invictus Games have become closely linked in the public eye. They argue that if he were to lose that connection, it could deal a significant blow to his public image and the role he has built around the games.
So there's no money. There's all the other charities were a disaster. Invictus is Harry. Harry is Invictus.
Yeah.
And you're telling me it could be cancelled.
Prince Harry was reportedly hoping there might still be one final source of support, believing that Netflix could step in to help. However, recent reports suggest the company has chosen to keep its distance from the Invictus Games. Even though Netflix produced Heart of Invictus and already has an established relationship with Harry and Meghan, it has not stepped forward as a sponsor for the games. According to the reports, the company's previous partnership with the couple did not deliver the financial results it had hoped for, and it is still trying to recover from that investment. Because of that experience, Netflix is said to be unwilling to take on another financial risk at this time. While some believe the company has the resources to provide support if it chose to, current reports indicate that it has no plans to do so.
Netflix have got money. Netflix could easily, if they're such good friends with the Sussexes, they could say, all right, here's 10 million.
Yeah.
We're not going to see that money again, but it's for a good cause. And they did produce the Heart of Invictus TV series they've done a few years ago.
Yeah.
They could easily do 10 mil, but even Netflix aren't wanting to get involved in it.
You're so right. It could easily be a nice headline for them. Netflix save Invictus.
Yeah.
And they could cover themselves in glory. And it's damning that they shouldn't step in.
After facing disappointment from so many directions, reports suggest Prince Harry's final hope was that some of his well-known celebrity friends might step in to offer support. However, that does not appear to be happening either. Tyler Perry, who previously helped Harry and Meghan by providing them with a place to stay after they stepped away from royal life, has not become involved this time. Oprah Winfrey, who famously interviewed the couple as they made a series of allegations about the royal family, has also remained absent from the situation. According to these reports, neither of these high-profile supporters has come forward to help with the challenges now facing Harry and the Invictus Games.
They've lost all of their key backers. They've lost the fellow celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
So Oprah, Sir Elton, Gwyneth, the Clooneys, the Obamas. It's my understanding that Harry is particularly heartbroken that George Clooney is no longer interested in, having any relationship at all, and that George Clooney is all in with William and Charles.
Yeah.
So they've lost the celebrities, they've lost the charity sector, and they're losing the corporate backers too. Big business.
Reports also claim that even Elton John has chosen not to provide Prince Harry with financial assistance. According to those reports, Harry's legal battle with the publishers of the Daily Mail resulted in significant costs, which also affected Elton John. As a result, it is said that whenever the topic of financial support comes up, Elton prefers to stay away from becoming involved.
I have been told that he actually has asked Elton to give him some money for Invictus. Elton has said no because this court case is such a big deal now. He asked Elton before the judge came down with the ruling, but Elton kind of saw where the wind was blowing and he was like,
Some critics point out that similar sporting events for military veterans operate with much smaller budgets than the Invictus Games, raising questions about where the funding is being spent. They argue that while grants provided to veterans reportedly decreased, executive salaries and legal expenses increased during the same period. According to these critics, veterans are not receiving additional support even though the overall cost of running the organization continues to rise. They believe this difference is one of the main reasons some people have called for a financial audit. Birmingham, the city expected to host the event, is also dealing with financial challenges of its own. Reports suggest the city is already under considerable economic pressure, making it difficult to take on the added costs of hosting the Invictus Games. Some commentators believe London would have been a stronger choice because it has greater financial resources and broader corporate backing. If funding continues to fall short, organizers may eventually have no choice but to reduce the size of the games. Critics have suggested that Birmingham's financial situation could make hosting even more challenging. While others have argued that comments Prince Harry made in his memoir about his military service may have affected public support in some communities. If the Invictus Games do move forward as planned, significant changes may be necessary. The event could become shorter, accommodation costs might be reduced, there could be fewer competitions, and the overall scale of the games may end up much smaller than originally intended. Some believe the schedule could even be compressed into a much shorter period to help reduce expenses. Even those hoping the games proceed acknowledge that Prince Harry would still need to secure many millions of pounds in additional sponsorship to cover the remaining costs. According to reports, finding that level of financial support has become increasingly difficult because the sponsors he needs have not stepped forward. This is said to be placing him under tremendous pressure, especially as he is already dealing with financial challenges related to his legal case, while also trying to ensure the future of the Invictus Games. Many observers believe he appears overwhelmed by the situation. Even if the games continue next year, some commentators argue that future editions could face even greater uncertainty unless much stronger financial backing is secured. Others believe that if the event does take place, it could potentially be the final edition unless conditions improve. Some critics have gone as far as claiming that many of the Sussex's recent projects have struggled to meet expectations. What are your thoughts about the future of the Invictus Games? Let us know what you think in the comments.